So tell me a bit about the driver.
I've had it about 4 years.
Okay.
And I started to feel like I was struggling a little bit with it.
Yeah.
And the truth is, it became a birthday, and I thought, I'm going to see if I'm going to go for a driver fitting and see if there's something that will give me. I think I was kind of bad left shots, is what we were seeing. When I guess when my swing wasn't where it can be,
Okay.
because we don't all have consistency.
Yeah. Right.
It wasn't doing me any favours. And the ridiculous thing is, actually, so I booked the appointment a while ago. I'm hitting the driver probably better now than I've ever hit it.
Right, okay.
But I still think that it would be good. I'd like to think about changing my driver. I want to see what's out on the market. And my friend Rob has been down here with his daughter and really raved about how well you do your fittings, and he said, you know, go down there and get something that's fit for you rather than just
anything. Yeah, just off the shelf. Yeah. Okay.
But
perfect.
Al can articulate it better than me. It's when my swing's not where it should be, because it isn't all the time.
Yeah.
What it does, it's trying to, when my swing's not as good as where it should be, I still want to try and get something that's not going to get me in trouble.
Okay, so yeah, still keeping that forgiveness for overall performance. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, that's fine. Any injuries at all or anything at the moment?
No, I'm just old and knackered.
Well, like us all, yeah. So no.
Be careful what you say.
Do you have a particular ball that you play with at the moment?
I tend to flip between a couple, AD 333, but the one that I'm using a lot at the moment is, I'll have a look at my bag.
Yeah,
I told you, I'm exceptionally tired at the moment.
That's okay.
So I'm using at the moment Titleist True Feel.
Okay, perfect. No worries. Right, let's get you.
I kind of flip. Sometimes I think, oh, I'm not playing so great. Let's try a different ball. And it's not. It's just psychological rubbish.
That's okay. We'll see how you get on, and then so what I'll let you do first, have a bit of a warm up, just get yourself moving. I'm just going to measure your driver, see where it is from a length, swing point, everything like that.
Yep.
Any particular club you like to have a warm up with?
7-iron normally.
7-iron? Perfect. Right. Okay, so I put those 333s there, they sort of give you an idea, and then just let you have a warm up.
Ta. Yep, need warm up.
And generally irons are normally pretty good?
Yeah, generally.
Short game okay?
That's probably the bit of my game that I need to concentrate more on.
Right, okay.
It's okay. I mean, it's probably my short game's probably in the best state it's been in.
Okay.
But it definitely, there's improvement there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try the driver.
You happy?
Yeah, well, never happy, are you?
Right. I'll see how we get on with these golf balls. So when you're using the driver, if you just keep the silver dot on top, it will just help the TrackMan pick up the spin. Now, from tee height wise, are you higher, lower, in the middle?
Normally use an orange tee.
Orange tee, so reasonably high.
Yeah.
Right, let's get you up a fraction more then. Let's see how you get on with that, and then we can always move it up and down as we need. Good speed. And obviously where you're working on getting your club path in to out, do you feel like that's where the numbers have started to go, or is it still a little bit across and you're just trying to create?
It's been more consistently.
Yeah.
It's been consistently better.
Yeah.
But I think I had a patch earlier in the year where it just felt like it was going. I don't know. I can't really articulate. It just felt rubbish.
Okay.
And when we went back, you could see that when we looked at the numbers, I was going back to where.
Old,
yeah. So it's something I constantly have to work on. And,
okay. Yeah.
And generally, when things are going wrong, I tend to know.
Yeah.
It's really ridiculous and irritating that I know what it is. I'll go back.
Yeah.
And we fix it very quickly.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm paying him really for the same old thing really.
Well,
but as long as he can get me back there, I'm quite happy to.
I think that's the biggest part of coaching, is just trying to stop us all getting our bad habits ingrained.
It is just keeping you on track, really.
Yeah.
I don't like to give him too many compliments, that's the thing. That was nice. Okay, I'll get you to do one more for me. Yep.
Oh, just a touch. How did that feel as an overall sort of swing and hit?
Yeah, it felt quite nice.
Yeah.
In fact, my driver felt better than my irons at the moment, so that's not a bad thing.
Okay. Okay, yeah, a little bit hillside. Not bad though. Good. Right.
Yeah, well, I think there's going to be a little bit of gap between the 4 iron and even if you get 3 iron and the new.
So I'll start with carry, just to look at your consistency first. So that was the good swing that felt really on the money, and then you can see 184 yards of carry. The rest sort of worst 170, but sitting around between that 170 to just over 180 mark. Is that?
That's probably,
yeah, where it would be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from a ball striking point of view, pretty consistent. The odd one just favouring the hillside. You can see that probably slight old habit of just goes a little bit over, stretches the club away from you, and that's where you can find it. I mean, on average, your path's just a little bit out to in.
Yep.
Not a lot, but just enough to create a nice gentle fade.
Yep.
The only odd bad one you get, I'd say, when looking at your swings, is it can be that sort of leave the club face open.
Yep.
And that's just what costs you the distance. Actually, when we look at your club path, it's a little bit across, but it's just that sort of squeezing. So definitely the more you get back to that where your path is nullified and then letting the club release, you're in a very good place.
Yeah, it's quite funny actually. We went on the TrackMan last week, and actually I didn't have anything minus last week. It was sort of like either neutral or slightly 1 or 2 degrees.
Positive.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you're going to get that variation, aren't you?
I mean, 1.4 degrees is not a lot. You can't see it under the naked eye. That's the thing. So it's only the machine telling us. So, the fact that you're that close would tell me, okay, possibly if you had 20 minutes just to rehearse a few things, you could probably get it back to that point.
Yeah.
I mean, club.
But that's reality, though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's every golfer. Unfortunately, if we were all repeating the same swing, we'd probably be on planes somewhere and enjoying a bit of sun.
Yeah.
And, a nicer lifestyle. But no, I mean, you're all round general game of when you're getting it right. Club head speed's great, really, really good. Ball speed from there, pretty efficient. Because the strike's a tiny bit low, we just add a touch of spin, which is why probably our total is just a little bit short of where we'd like it to be. Obviously from a dynamic point of view, you can see there just a little bit of the opening up the face, that's just creeping the ball flight up a smidgen.
Touch, yeah.
Yeah, not a lot. Again, if you squared that off, I'd say we'd be in quite a nice window. If the hit was a little bit higher, the spin would be down here and we'd be laughing, we'd be 210 all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, really sort of good flight. You're probably right, you're not in a bad place in terms of what you're doing from the driver. You can actually see there if you're sort of all year round max carry total, you're in a really good flight window.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'll be.
Maybe I've come at the wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm looking at anything in the swing of what we could possibly play around with, I like the lightness of the shaft. I like how it creates speed. It's whether we can maybe give you a little bit more head weight or something just to see could it drop it in a little bit more for you, and then create that shape fractional more, because it's quite a where your length of your shaft 44, which being a little bit shorter than sort of this, I mean the standard driver shaft now for a lot of people is like 44 and a half, even sort of 45 is really, that's the tour average. So that makes your driver a little bit lighter. So I wonder if something maybe 2 grams, 3 grams heavier in the head sort of department, with a shaft that maybe combos that, it might just give you a feel of drop it in, turn that club path into a positive and then release it. But the reality of where you are at the moment is that you could probably do a lot of this with your swing as well. So you're definitely not in a bad starting point. So even if we can't find you something that improves it enough, you're walking away here with still a very good driver. So
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, which I'm quite happy with, because it means I've got free reign to just try and make it as good as it can be.
Yeah,
And
I think the thing is if we can find something that when the swing just goes off a little bit, it still gives me something
bit,
close to, you know, I know it's not a huge amount of difference. But you know, if the swing is just slightly off and I can find something that will just make that 170 maybe, you know, just
I think
a little bit different.
Can we just slightly maybe help you find a better repeating action so that doesn't happen? And then that's, to be fair, for where you hit it and what you got, the result's actually fantastic. I mean, as a head, it's still a nice forgiving head. Probably there you could say something like the ping's slightly more forgiving, so if you wanted that ultimate forgiveness factor, you could go something like that. But yeah, I think we'll play around. We'll have a look at a few shafts first, see if we can play around with that. And then, go from there and see what we find, if that sounds good to you. Do you want to test shafts in your head first and just see what we can get from the shaft,
I'm happy to try whatever you think, really.
I mean, that'll be quite a nice starting point, and then, we can just see, someone's stolen my screen. We can see how the shaft impacts it and how you deliver it, and then stick some new heads on and just see can we get a little bit more.
Yep, great.
Perfect. Right. So it's probably going to be a touch long, so I might just get you to grip down slightly, but I just want to see the effect of going a little bit longer to make it fractionally heavier for you as well, and just see how that feels. So this is an FX 140 from Accra. Plays just over sort of 40 grams, but what you'll feel is probably a bit more weight in the head itself.
Does feel a bit, yeah. So do you want me to grip down a bit,
Just fractionally, if that's okay. We'll see what you'd play like sort of half an inch longer than where you are. Okay, just a little bit on the lower hillside. Does that feel like a bit more weight?
It does feel a bit more weight. It's funny, really. It's quite noticeably so.
I don't mind you the numbers. Really like club half. I mean, that one you're a bit
Okay, so interesting. Going. I'll let you have one more. And while we're still on this last one, is just go a touch more down the grip, because the initial impact of going a little bit longer, we lose the strike.
Right.
And that's the worst thing we can do in golf. So
yes.
Okay, so that got a little bit more under it and through. All right, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, there I went for a sort of more middle of the road balancing type of shaft, just to push some of the weight down.
Yep.
Feel like you fit. Again, when you increase length of club, it's going to add quite a bit of swing weight to it.
Yeah.
It's again why the problem probably with the modern day driver, where they've manufacturers naturally gone longer, they've got heavier and further away from the player. So when you hit it out the middle, it's great.
Yeah, but if you don't, yeah.
And you can see there the sort of free strikes. That last one, we actually got your grip down, you got the closest to the middle.
Yeah.
But yeah, your initial strikes from there, you can see really disappearing to that hillside, which, that's definitely not going to help eradicate that one anyway. So, good. Okay, so again, I'm going to get you to grip down this one a smidgen, but it'll feel a little bit lighter to swing overall as a package. It won't feel as heavy at that bottom end as the Accra did. It will have a little bit more give to it, but you'll still be able to feel the weight in the lower end.
Yep. Okay. Just going to give it a go.
Good swing.
Felt nice.
Still that touch a little bit off the hill, just pop the spin up. Definitely from a move, that's stripped about 2 grams out of the actual oval fin. The head, it looked easier.
It felt quite nice actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I would, again, just a hair's breadth down the hillside, but not bad. Club head speed looks better again. You look a bit more consistent with that.
Yep.
Have one more for me. That definitely swings better.
It does, feels better.
Yeah.
That felt very heely.
Yeah. Yeah, just that length. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, definitely keeping it a little bit shorter is going to help. Perfect. Right, going a bit shorter in the shaft now.
Okay.
Slightly different balance, so still from the same range, but this is the grey range, so just changing the balance up a little bit, but keeping the weight pretty similar. And we'll just see how this change feels in terms of the overall swing weight, because this is going to lighten it off quite a bit.
Right, okay.
So, but I want to see what happens with your strike, because we can always go back to the red range if that's a better balance point for you.
Yep. Yeah, you can feel the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot, obviously quite a bit of that is the length element of it being a little bit shorter for you.
Yep. Oh, wow, that feels strange.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's giving me something different.
Yeah. I have one last go, but yeah, that's just, so essentially we're right in terms of we want to keep a bit more weight at that bottom end to help you find the slot.
Okay, yeah, so literally you go in, it just says, paper product, so as you go through the email, paper product, go to there, you link paper.
That felt better.
Yeah. Definitely from a weighting point of view, 40 looks more effective. It's definitely, we want to keep it lighter to allow you to maintain your club head speed, which you're doing really well. But yeah, taking that weight away from the club head too much, and then we get a few problems, you don't know where it is. Okay, good. Right, so we'll do a few more of the shorter ones. Nice. Right. So this KBS shaft, so really nice stability about it. Sort of similar to the first one, but it feels really stable, but at a better length for you, but with a little bit more weighting down that lower end. So the feel that I would say you're going to enjoy a little bit more.
Okay.
It's a tiny bit shorter than the previous shaft, so it might, although technically it's the same sort of swing weight, it will, at the right length, it'll be a little bit heavier, but we'll see how you get on from a shaft point of view first.
Just try and slow it down a bit. felt hilly as well.
Okay. Yeah, club path just got a little bit. Have
Over
one,
the top.
Yeah, just fractionally.
Yeah.
Just have one more for me.
Yeah.
Better move, maybe just a touch low. Yeah. Okay. Getting there.
The old driver's looking good, isn't it? Oh dear.
Awesome. Amazing. Did you get any drinks before you? All right. So good. Lunch juicing now. Okay.
Right, so again, just slightly gripping down this one. We'll see how you get. So this is a Vanquish. So they've got a interesting sort of setup. They go through their numbers and flexes to increase their weighting.
Right.
So essentially when you start their lowest flex and their sort of lightest number, or 4 as they call it, it starts really low, and then as you go stiff, it's like 2 grams X stiff, and then you go up into the 5s from there. So we're a little bit heavy in a couple of the other shafts.
Just feel a bit heavier. I felt quite nice actually.
Yeah, so that, albeit a tiny bit hillside,
Yep.
the actual balance of a little bit more weight there seemed to swing really well.
It felt nice.
Yeah. That's it.
Ooh.
That's all right. That was just arms got a little bit separated from the body on the way down.
Yeah.
I'll let you have one more because we'll class that as a bad one.
Yeah.
Been a while, so.
Well, that's very true. I'll give you that.
Definitely that dynamic's close. Okay, good. Get in there.
Consistency of striking. Up near the middle, am I?
I'll go with this one. I might go back to that Ascent Red just in the slightly shorter format and see, because that, so far to me, that's the one that swung the best. It was just a little bit long, so the strike was a little bit compromised. Okay, so yeah, this is a little bit shorter than the couple of the others we've been using, so you could probably hold this pretty close to normal.
Yep, okay. Felt quite nice.
Yeah. So this is a sort of what they call like a mid-high balance. It's just whether it's, I think you're going to be better off with a slightly lower balance, but I just want to see from a weighting point of view. It just plays around about 45 grams or so.
Okay.
But the nice bit with the balance being up is it doesn't make the club head really, really heavy, so it doesn't get stuck behind you.
Feels nice.
Yeah, definitely from a length point of view, you can see it's confirmed that being a little bit shorter in the shaft is still the way to go from your striking point of view.
Yep.
A little bit hillside, which just adds a bit of spin. That's fair enough, I can live with that.
There's one in every bag.
Right, we'll delete that one. Have one more for me.
Yep.
I'm going to get rid of that one. We'll just call that a mulligan.
If only you could have them, eh?
Yeah. Indoors you can.
Yeah. That felt right low off the face, was it?
a little bit. Still just looks a tiny bit harder than that Ascent did. Okay, let me go back to that and we'll see. The swing's nice and consistent, by the way. You're really moving well. Like you can see.
Thank you.
Sort of why my job's quite hard to improve on that, because what you've got and how you're moving it is pretty darn good. So yeah, just all the work, keep doing it. Really, praise this man.
That doesn't mean you can put the hourly rate up.
Yeah.
How much did you pay him?
I thought we've got a fairywood one, but it's too short in this, so I think we'll have to get you to grip down this. Just go back.
Right. Okay. So grip down a bit, yeah?
Yeah, if you grip down a bit on that and just have a second swing of it.
Feel that weight again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have a swing actually.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, we're just a hair's breadth below the equator line, which is why we just get a little bit of spin, but from a central point of view, fantastic.
Yep.
Club head speed good again. Ball speed sort of where you were.
Yeah. People keep saying they look for consistency, and looks like I might have it, but you know. Oh, that weren't. That was out there.
Yeah, that's the only thing of, I mean, it's probably as much with your driver as anything of your bad one where you just extend over, is it just catches that heel side. I mean, the good news is with you extend over, it just starts it down the left and then fades it back into play.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So it's not a disaster. Maybe a hair's breadth down the heel side, yeah. Just
I love the heel, don't I?
Yeah. Just go tight. Club path good, by the way. Into out, positive there,
much
0.2,
better,
which is good. Just go like another sort of quarter further down. That's it. The shaft swing's really nice. It's as good as sort of where we can get with yours, I'd say.
Yep.
It's almost from that point then for you, kind of, can you get your club path in and then just that release pattern from it? Yeah, because it just got a little bit across and left it open. But that's what I say, that's very similar to what you're doing with
my own.
Yours, yeah.
Right, I'm going to have one more, just grip them down a bit. That felt better.
Yeah, so solid, maybe just a tiny bit hillside, but you delivered the face better.
Yes.
You got a little bit more stronger through it. And although it's fractionally hillside, the total went up, the ball speed's still a good, considering the club head speed was a tiny little bit slower.
Trying to get that club face just closed a bit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing of, if you've always been that way, you've always had to leave it open, because otherwise you just pull it straight left.
Yep.
Now where you're starting to improve, and as you gradually get more into out, you've then got to relearn of how your forearms, and how they work and things like this. So it's always difficult, but yeah, from a shaft point of view of that's definitely swung really well. We're going to see if there's any others I can think of, but there's definitely obviously bits we can play around with, even in your head, but other heads there, in terms of how we can set them upright, things like this, where the weighting is as well. If our tendency is to be a little bit hillside, it might be with one of the more modern day drivers in terms of the sliding weight, putting that fractionally in the hillside setting, that might give us a bit more speed from behind the hit. But yeah, we're still coming back to the conclusion yours isn't bad to start off with.
No, exactly that, yeah. Might be able to spend my birthday money on something else.
More lessons.
He has paid you.
I mean, The thing when you said earlier about, oh, maybe I've come at the wrong time, I don't think it's that you came at the wrong time, it's just you've obviously worked really hard on your swing, and a driver that possibly wasn't quite clicking when you were doing that swing has now started to click in better with it. It's, one of those things of, like I say, we might then find once we get, I'm pretty confident it's going to be the other shaft, but we'll see how you get on with this TPT.
Yep.
And just find out.
It's a bit long again.
Yeah, so again, if you grip down a little bit, 45 grams, so not too heavy, more mid-balance, there's still that lower end weight in feel.
Yep. That felt nice.
Good swing. Lovely. We're back into the 180s again in Clarey.
Are we? That's better. Let's do that. That feels really nice. Whether it's just because I'm striking it better, I don't know. It just feels nice.
Yeah, it's just the dynamic of a club, how it's, again, not... Obviously, it's a little bit heavier than where yours is because of the length of it. If we cut that down, it would bring it to just a little bit of a better weight. Yeah, you could say, okay, granted the swings have been good the first two, but also you've got a club in your hands that allows you to swing in the way that you want to. So all of a sudden your club path's gone 0.4 in to out, and then you actually close the face a little bit. It's sort of off the heel strike, so they complemented each other. But definitely from what you're trying to do with your swing, that was as close as we've got, really.
Yeah, agreed. It just feels really nice to swing. I wish I could describe it in a better way than that.
So the TPT range, essentially, basically their biggest selling point of their balance of the shaft. So whether you go from their driver in the red range from driver to fairway to hybrid, they're all a very similar balance point, so they feel the same, they feel really smooth. How they're designed as well is they're sort of a one weave of graphite. So where manufacturers, for most of the companies, when they're weaving these aftermarket shafts, they'll sort of start the process, stop the process, start the process, stop it. This is essentially just one continuous process. So you just get one of the probably strongest bits of graphite around the material. Yeah, you can have a couple more.
I can't explain it. It just feels really nice.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, whether it's an unfortunate or a downside of what comes with feel is the price that follows it.
Well, of course.
It's a bit more in that upper premium price tag. Don't get me wrong, the Ascent's not a cheap aftermarket shaft, but this is definitely a bit more of a premium one.
Yep. Nothing good is cheap, is it?
No.
I mean, that wasn't particularly great, but it didn't feel...
Well, you said you wanted a bit of forgiveness.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the swing didn't feel great, but it didn't feel awful.
Yeah.
That was a bit toey, wasn't it?
That's the first one where you've looked like you've just
step back.
Slightly fallen back.
I thought it was a bit toey.
Yeah, which is interesting. Yeah, that's exactly what it showed.
Just one more, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. What I'd like to do from here then, Caroline, is just start testing a few heads.
Yep.
There's also possibly a couple of, one stock option or so, depending on what head we settle on, that we could test as well.
Okay. That felt nice.
I mean, the nice thing there, other than the one you fell off, you're good and bad. Your good performed as well. I'm not going to say it's any better yet because it's still the same. But your bad was still okay. And I mean, there was probably a little bit of the worst.
It hasn't been, the worst one wasn't really.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only one where you fell away, which you didn't do with yours. It was more a case of opening up the face, but the others there are
still caught down the middle,
a lot more consistent with what you're doing, which is great.
It feels nice.
Yeah. Okay. Felt better than that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Right. So
out of all of them, that's felt nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to test you on first is just the modern day equivalent of your driver.
Okay.
Now Titleist, the previous model, they switched their degree settings, so we've gone from the half-degree increments now down to the single-use one, so you've got the 11 degree instead of 11.5.
Yeah.
Based on your height anyway, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You did have yours slightly set up in that lower loft anyway, so
Yeah.
I think that will work quite nicely if we start there, and then we can always
Yeah,
work it
fine.
up and down from that point.
Good.
So yeah, a couple of sort of minor look tweaks to the
Head.
newer head. I'm going to leave it in its, so basically in terms of the swing weight, they're both identical in terms
Yep.
of what they should feel like through the impact zone.
Okay.
So I'll leave it as it is. We could always adapt it, make it a little bit lighter if we need to, or a little bit heavier.
Yep.
Obviously factoring in that we would be looking to go a little bit shorter than
Then what we've got.
what
Yeah.
we're currently playing at. Interestingly though, the striking on this, even being at the length it is, you were much more central.
Yeah. Oh, that feels weird.
That's okay. Swing just got away a little bit.
Again.
It's all right, we'll call the first one a
Mulligan.
sighter, just to feel your way into the head.
That's better.
Good swing. There you go, a little bit of draw. Don't mind that.
There's a first.
It's interesting because that swing path didn't look a million miles away. You just got a little bit stuck there and left it open. I have one more go with that, and then I just want to have a little tweak on the settings with that one.
Okay.
Just see if I can move it around a little bit. It's finding that slot, it's just then the release
Yeah.
from there. Better. Okay, good. Right, let me just tweak that. Okay, so what I'm putting it in is a fractional upright position,
Right, okay.
just to help with if it's just going to get that club pointing a little bit more that way. So obviously the one you hit with a nice draw, that's perfect,
Yeah.
that's your bread and butter. But
Yep.
for where you are currently, I think if we just got you a little bit of help down
Getting it,
that side,
yeah.
and then as you improve further, you can tweak it back if needs be.
Yep. That felt heely.
Yeah, good swing.
Yeah.
Take the result.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
For it.
It's not in any trouble, is it?
No, I mean, heel strike 178, basically 178 yards of carry, that's still performing quite well. Club head speed still maintaining around the 80 mile an hour mark, which is great. This will be the more interesting one because this is the one before. So definitely a little bit less. It's helped you out a little,
Yeah.
but it's still that touch just getting stuck. Okay. But yeah, still no better than
What I've got.
where you are.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the Callaway Paradym. Coming down to 10.5 degrees now in the head. Going to keep it at that, but just play it in what would be their draw setting.
Right, okay.
I'm actually going to leave the weight because our tendency has been a tiny bit. This is just fractionally in the heel side, the back weighting, just to see what happens with your strike and how it plays and feels.
Okay.
And yeah, naturally a slightly lighter head as well, so it won't feel as head heavy.
No, it don't.
The nice bit is you've got plenty of launch in abundance, so even half a degree heel there is not going to affect too much of that
Too
flight.
much of the flight, yeah. You can feel it's light. You can feel it lighter.
Yeah. Yeah, about 2 to 3 grams less in the sort of head weight feeling that you'll have through this. Good swing.
That felt nice.
Yeah, club head speed good. Ball speed not too inefficient. A little bit low hill, so it just crept the spin up slightly, but not bad.
Bananas.
Yeah, that's the first one. Just got a little bit that way across.
Oh yeah, so I see.
Yeah, which again, coupled with a tiny bit of a heel strike, it just makes it look a little bit worse than what it should be.
Yeah.
That looked like a better delivery
better.
of it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, good, but still.
Not any different from what
No.
I'm getting. Yeah.
Good though. I mean, what it does show nicely is that shaft, for consistency wise, no disasters there. It's
No.
definitely producing a good feel, but yeah, I would just like to see a little bit more and a touch more. If we could just bring that, if we could bring everything inside the 15-yard line, I'd be really happy.
Yes.
But no, that's okay. Right. Go.
Worst one might be on the trees on the 4th.
Fan of ping, or not really had them before?
I've not been a huge fan of pink, but I think it's a bit of a psychological thing because generally for women everything's purple or pink.
Right, okay.
And I think that just, you know, I'm just not as you can see, I'm not a purple and pink kind of girl.
No, that's fine.
Be careful what you say next over there. But I think it's just a bit of a psychological thing, really.
Okay. So I'm actually going with a standard ping head here because, yeah, you don't really need any of that sort of extra loft help, things like that.
Yeah.
We're just looking for sort of, I'd say from a forgiveness factor, this can always be proved wrong, but this may be the one that sort of feels like it's a little bit of a safer head.
Yep.
Ball speed's still pretty efficient, but yeah, from a performance of when you miss hit it, it's really proven to be a great head for keeping the ball in play,
Yeah.
without massive drop-offs.
Yep. It's because I don't like ping.
Yeah. You only had to say, I would have taken it away.
Should have just covered up the ping.
I've got some masking tape somewhere. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. Have one more for.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I mean, that.
I don't take the notice of me saying that I don't like ping.
It's not. It's what's interesting of exactly. I'll show you after you've hit this one
Yeah.
of where you struck it and where the result was.
That felt better.
That was a good swing.
Yeah, it felt better.
You know. So yeah, this is what I want to show you. If you hit it a very similar place
And look
of that
what-
hill,
yeah.
and you can see that those two are. That's where you get the forgiveness of the ping head.
Yeah.
So if you're standing there saying, look, I can't keep the thing on the fairway, I'd probably be jumping at this head for you to get it in
Yeah.
hands, because it would just be making life so much easier for you. But that's not really our issue. Yes, occasionally you leave it open, but that's more swing related than
Then
the
club
club
related.
itself. So to me, yeah, great. Keeps you in the fairway a little bit more, but the reality is that's not what we're after. We're
No.
just after a better performance.
Yep.
Okay. What do you think about red face drivers?
Yeah, I'm not averse. It's just ping. As long as they ain't pink or purple.
Right. Okay, Taylormade Stealth 2. So yeah, that's why I asked you if you like the red face.
Yep, I'm happy with that. Felt nice.
Yeah, good swing.
Look where it's ended up.
I mean, it's inside the 15-yard line, so at least I'm happy with that.
You're happy with that.
Good ball speed.
Yeah, it felt nice.
Yeah, 182 carry.
Wow.
Nice hit as well.
It felt really nice, yeah. Feels good. Feels nice.
Like it.
Yeah, it feels nice. I have to say. Minus the mulligan.
What mulligan? It never happened. Can't see it.
God, that felt good.
So I mean, from a repetition point of view of what you're doing there, it's definitely ignoring the one that's bad swing. But yeah, from your performance there, it's really, really good carry. It's sort of in a really nice spin window in terms of where you caught it as well. So from a flight point of view, you can see they're bang on the sort of money really. The only reason you're a couple of yards down is because of that move rather than probably that move there. But overall, sort of smash still catching up. You can see your ball speed really efficient. I suppose then from there, if we...
Dispersion's a bit better on that as well, isn't it?
Yeah. If we come over, let me crush those down.
Looks like somewhere hot. He was. It's better than this when I first got on the phone.
Tell you what, I'll leave that in there.
I was just down in America. Yeah. Golfing. A little bit. Yeah. A little bit. Nice. Half and half, really. Yeah. Oh, we're going to be in here. Oh, in that one? Yeah.
So yeah, if I click on, so that was the Taylormade there.
Yep.
I'll check in again in a bit.
That was with your shaft, like that shaft in your head.
Yep.
If we come back to, that's your driver there.
Which one's mine?
The one's flashing here. So you can see off the top hit, they're not too different. From a consistency point of view, we could definitely argue, you can see there, but like I said, this is more to do with the swing side of things.
Rather than the club.
Yeah. You'd say consistency of ball speed maybe just a touch higher than where you are. Your bad, when I say bad one bit, it's just a little bit longer off the slight miss hit compared to yours, where it just drops back a little bit more. But other than that, I mean, I am sort of just trying to pick out little things. Yeah, if we take this out and we compare.
Just against mine.
Yeah.
Just whether it just tightens it all up a little bit, even with a not so good swing.
Yeah, I mean, that's yours currently.
Yeah.
Versus
that.
The Stealth there.
Yeah.
But like I say, you put 4 good swings on it as well.
Yeah.
We can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Cut path a little bit across, but again, you delivered it better. You didn't let the face escape open too much.
Yeah.
When we compare that to
this one.
Yeah, you see the club path a little bit tighter in what you're doing, just the odd occasional one where you just let the face go, but you can just see its face open when you get the face a little bit better. And the honest truth is actually squared it off even more, and there's probably a little bit more in the tank. Same with the Stealth, for being honest, if you square that off a little bit more, there's still a little bit more in the tank, but from a total distance, you're 207 versus 205. So there's not that much in
difference between mine and this.
To really be like, wow, that's going to
make a big difference to my game.
Right, let me... Just gonna...
first 8.5.
This is my last sort of throw of the dice.
It's always the last one that comes good, isn't it?
Yeah. I just want to see from a length point of view, so this is just from their player range, or it's not pink or anything like that, so...
No, it's clear though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aimed at the ladies' market.
Yeah. I'll let you say that one.
Believe it or not, my first driver, when I started playing golf, was a clear.
Right, okay.
So I'm not gonna diss it. Wow. I haven't seen many go over there. Was my swing really bad?
No, just you a little bit lighter, a little bit of a different feel, and just release the head. It's sort of why I just wanted to see just chucking one last effort in there to unlock something, but the reality is I don't think we're going to do it. Yeah. No, that's fine, Carol. It was just a little experiment to see what you could do. And, but yeah, the reality of I've tested you with a few different heads there that all produce really good high ball speed. We've seen that. And if you said, right, I want a brand new driver, that Stealth would be as close as I could probably get you in terms of what was giving us consistency. But then you could argue with what you were doing. Let me bring that back up. What you were doing with the shaft itself was actually a little bit more consistent than probably with delivery and just improvement that way. You could reshaft your head as much as just buying a new driver, and I still think you would get the benefit from that. So, but the reality is the shaft you have isn't terrible for where the weighting is. Like I say, if we were playing that a little bit shorter, the weighting probably be a couple of grams in it, which is where I wanted it to be. But I don't see enough personally
to change it.
I would change it at the moment.
No.
I'd say, I'd almost be review where your swing is maybe in a year to 2 years' time, and just see how far the improvements have gone from that point. I mean, you've got a great driver that you can really improve well with. But yeah, the honest truth is I just wouldn't change at the moment.
No.
I don't see value in the...
No, I understand that. There's no,
And as much as I know it's a couple of generations old, it's still a really, really good head.
Yeah, it's not a bad driver. I think at the position where I was at the time, I wasn't hitting the ball as well as I am now.
Yeah.
And I'd had it 4 years, and I just thought, do you know what? Let's go and see if there is anything else out there that's going to help me.
Yeah.
But I do think obviously the swing changes that I've made has made a big difference, and when I first started hitting the ball, you could see that.
Yeah, that, I mean, my
it
task
was going to be
always,
difficult. It's going to be hard to try and properly improve it.
Yeah,
I've got a certain swing speed. You're only going to get a certain distance with that.
Yeah, I had a small window to work in. Like I say, I think we found a nice alternative product that what I'll do is I'll keep it in the notes of how we'd build it. So the worst ever happen, and you need a replacement. But
I think what we was looking for at the time is when my swing is not, when my swing's not quite there. Is there something on the market that's going to deliver something close to better than what I was hitting it?
Which, that's probably as close as I can get you. Yeah. Which, like I say, I still come back to the two swings that were just a little bit off, were more swing related than club related. But yeah, you definitely swung that as efficiently as you could, which granted for what we wanted it to do and how it dropped in. it does give you that touch more forgiveness.
Yeah.
But from a distance point of view, yeah, there's no more in that. But yeah, from a forgiveness point of view, it definitely probably just about ekes it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I say, that ping head is the most forgiving one, but for what it does, everything else, it's not worth it. And like I say, the shaft, as much as anything, still gave you a little bit of forgiveness there.
Yeah.
A little bit easier to swing, probably a slightly better balance for where you're going.
I do like that shaft. It does feel really nice, and it was a noticeable difference.
Yeah, I think definitely when you compare it to yours of, like I say, from a length point of view, I don't want to take you too far away from that, maybe just a touch longer, but really you're sort of where you need to be. But yeah, just a tiny bit increase in weight and just more the swing weight element of things allowed you to be a bit more here mainly, rather than just disappearing a little bit more to
It's
right.
the swing that got me that, rather than the club.
Yeah, when I look at that one to that one, that's probably just a little bit of, okay, 2 good swings, and then the shaft maybe slightly off, but you're talking a few yards to the right, not a lot. So yeah, I reckon just swing mechanics, continue with that, would bring that in, and yeah, like I say, it might be worth a review
In a couple of years, maybe.
Yeah, and just see what's out there. But other than that,
it's kind of what I came for, really, just to see. And I know that down here you've got a lot more choice of trying lots of different things, whereas in other places that I've been, you've probably not got this sort of array of options.
Yeah, I've used quite a lot of the shafts that I thought would be the ones to get you there. And like I say, I think we found a shaft that felt nice and worked quite well. And like I say, I'll put the details down just in case we ever need to go back to it.
No, for sure. I'll probably revisit you in a couple of years.
Yeah, I think just keep doing what you do. Yeah. Your time's up on that money you paid me. But yeah, no, I think you're in a really good place. You've obviously worked really hard on your swing, and it shows for what your consistency level for how many. I mean, when you look at how many shots you actually hit, sort of 60 drives there, which is a lot of drivers. You would never do that at a driving range.
No.
The efficiency of your swing and what you maintain there was really, really high.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep working at that, and like I say, maybe a couple of years time,
be something.
Your dynamic might change. There's always new shafts, new technology coming out, so there could be something different that just helps you a little bit more, or that shaft might still be relevant, but the way you deliver it, we can just inject a little bit more into it.
Brilliant. You've told me. I think you've disappointingly told me what I thought I already knew.
Yeah.
But if you don't come and try, you don't know, do you?
No, but it's reassuring that now you know, and at least you know when you stand on that first tee, it's like you can back yourself.
Got that confidence in it.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
That's all right. Pleasure.
Cheers.
Good.